now I can teach. Let's hit the chorus to the Dougie beat.
Teach me how to solve it. Teach me how to solve it. Teach me how to solve it. Teach me how to solve it.
By learning, by learning, by learning. Now teach me how to solve it.
Hello and welcome to the Kearney Math Show. Thank you all for tuning in today. On today's episode of the Kearney Math Show, we are going to be featuring translating words into math expressions and equations. So take just a moment and write entry number 8 at the top of your paper. Okay, by the end of today, guys, let's look at our learning goal. By the end of today, I want you to be able to explain to someone else how to take words and translate them into either a math expression or a math equation, okay? So, many times, word phrases can be translated into math expressions, but there are some keywords that are going to tell you what operations to use. So, we're going to quickly go through and talk about what are some keywords that might tell you to perform different operations. And some of these guys you can kind of you already know. So, actually all of these you already know. So, what keywords would tell you to add? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, you probably are saying some, I'm just going to write some down. So, plus, you see the word plus. If you see the word sum tells you to add. Okay. More than, like 5 more than X, that means you're going to have X, and then you're 5 more than that. Greater than, you can have 5 greater than X. Okay, older than, if you're 5 years older than me, you are going to add, okay? So those are just some keywords, and you might come up with some more. So if you have come up with more, feel free to add them in. Okay, so our next one. What are some keywords that might tell you to subtract? So one might be minus, okay, difference, less than. So 5 less than a number would be that number minus 5. Okay, fewer than, younger than. Okay, if you're 5 years younger than me, that'd be my age minus 5. Okay, moving right along. What are some keywords that would tell you to multiply? Okay, times. Product, what's the product of 5 and a number? Instead of produce, it's product. Okay, twice. You might see twice your age. That means double your age. Ooh, that's another word, double it. Tells you to multiply by 2. Triple. Quadruple. And you might come up with some others. All of those tell me that I'm multiplying. Okay? And then divide. What are some keywords that would tell me to divide? Quotient. What is the quotient? Divided by, or just divide, or divided by. Okay, and you might have others. Feel free to add them in. Okay, so we're going to be looking for these keywords when we're setting up these expressions and equations. So let's go down and try one. Okay, I'm going to have you try. We're just going to start with a pretty basic one. We're going to start right here with number 1. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is when you read these phrases or these word problems, I want you to first figure out what is the variable. What are you missing? Okay, so this says 6 less than X. So find that missing piece. That missing piece is X. So write that down. And then you're going to look for keywords and what does it say you're doing to X. If you work kind of backwards, it says 6 less than X. So we have X, and then how do I show 6 less than that? We would subtract 6. Okay? So then remember that keyword less than told me to subtract. Okay? So always locate that variable first and then kind of work your way out from there. Okay? And then so we'll do one more just basic one. The product of 3 and m. So find your variable is m and work your way backwards. What does it say you're doing to m? It says the product of 3 and m. So I can simply multiply 3 times m because the product tells me to multiply. Okay? So now let's actually try where we're, instead of setting up an expression, let's try to set up an equation. Okay? So if you would look at number 1, I should have considered that. Okay, first let's just read it. Number 1 says 17 more than 5 times a number is negative 23. What is the number? Okay, so that's a lot of words. So the first thing we want to do is we want to locate that variable. What's the unknown there? So the variable, it's a number. So what would be a variable that we could use to represent a number? We could say n. We could say let that be a number. Okay? And then as you set up an equation, I want you to find where it says a number. We don't know what a number is. And I want you to kind of work your way backwards out of that and see what does it say you're doing to that number. So if you work, it says 17 more than 5 times a number. So we're doing 5 times a number. So my equation, I have n. And how do I show 5 times that number? 5n. And then 17 more than that. How would you show 17 more than? So 17 plus, or plus 17. Okay, then if we've taken care of 17 more than 5 times the number, and that keyword is, what do you think is tells me to write? All of that is, so equals negative 23. Okay? So now we've got to figure out what in the world is that number. So we've got an equation, so we can simply solve it. Okay, now if you think back to how we solve equations, think about how was it built? What did you do to n first? You multiplied by 5. Then what did you do? You added 17. So if we were to unbuild it or deconstruct it, what's the last thing that you did? You added 17. So how would we unbuild adding 17? Inverse operation, we would subtract 17. Now remember, listen to your teachers, listen to your mother. What you do on one side, you do to the other. So we're going to subtract 17 from both sides. And we're left with 5n equals, and now negative 23 and negative 17 would be negative 40. Okay, we still got to solve for n. So what's happening to n now? It's being multiplied by 5. So the opposite of multiplying by 5 is to divide by 5. So if we divide by 5, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. 5 divided by 5 is 1, which is just n. And negative 40 divided by positive 5 is negative 8. Okay? Now remember, yes, that's the answer, but we don't know if it's correct or not. How can we check to see if it's correct? Always, always, always check those equations. Okay? We can take this n equals negative 8 and plug it back in. So I'm going to come over to the side. And I'm going to substitute it in, okay? So check. So where I see n, I'm going to put negative 8. So 5 times negative 8 plus 17, and I'm wondering, does that equal negative 23? So 5 times negative 8 is negative 40. Negative 40 plus 17. So negative 40 and a positive 17, the signs are different. So I would subtract. 40 minus 17 is 23. Take the sign of the bigger number, which is negative. Does negative 23 equal negative 23? Yes, it does. So we know that is correct. Okay, so just let's recap. The first thing I did was I located my variable in the problem. I wrote that variable down, and then I kind of worked backwards to figure out what in the world I was doing to that variable. And then I set up my equation and then solved it. And then always check your solution by substituting in, okay? So if you want to, you can go ahead and try the next practice problem, and I will be happy to answer any questions when you come to my station, okay? So good luck, guys. Make me proud. Peace out, Rainbow Trout. Love ya, mean it.